Hello, dear students, professionals, and business owners. This is Dr. Farooq Baloch, and it's our 35th lecture of top business concepts for the people who want to understand business in the age of AI. So, today we will be talking about organizational behavior. This is such a great topic, does not matter you are a CEO or a chief or a manager or an employee at initial stages. You must understand this because of the organizational behavior you can predict your future, you can predict your potential of promotion or getting more salary. And organizational behavior somehow also helps the people to understand the stock value if they are investors. So this is going to be a great lecture, and most importantly for entrepreneurs, they will understand the people, groups, and organization. My name is Dr. Farooq Baloch. I am PhD in management sciences with 15 plus years of experience in organizational behavior. So first, we need to define it so that all of us are on same page. And this definition is taught in the top world universities. So any person in the HR field, any person who is working in an organization has the same definition. So whenever we will be talking about organizational behavior, the people will understand the same definition. So organizational behavior is about how individuals and groups behave within an organization. In an organization, obviously we create a culture, we work together. So how individuals and the groups behave, that is the organizational behavior. So why it matters? Because if the organizational behavior is in good sense, then organizational productivity improves. People create more value, they create more products, they create more profit. And if it is good, then it enhances motivation. If organizational behavior, if behavior of the individuals or groups in an organization is good towards you, then definitely it increases your motivation to work in a better way, to do better things. Third thing is organizational behavior, if done in good sense, which we will be studying, it reduces the conflict. And fourthly, this is most important, that it builds a positive culture. So, key elements of the organizational behavior. What are the key elements? As we discussed, that it is about individuals' behavior, it is about the group behavior, but it is shaped by the organizational culture, organizational structure. That how the organization is centralized. The difference between a boss and its employees is huge. Or they can sit together, talk together, brainstorm together. That is organizational structure. So basically, these three elements play a core role: individual, group behavior, and organizational structure. So perception, when it comes to the individuals, why individuals show their behavior? They show their behavior because of the four reasons. We can say one is the personality. uh, every person's behavior with you depends on his personality. Secondly, about his perception, how he perceives things, how over the years he has developed his mindset. And third is attitude, and attitude of and learning, especially what he has learned, how he is learning. And the other thing is motivation, learning and motivation. So these are the factors that play in behavior of individuals. So if somebody's behavior is not good, maybe his perception can be improved, his attitude can be improved, learning and motivation can also be managed. This is the reason that we study the subject of HRM. We will further study it, that their individual behavior can be managed and it can be corrected to the certain level. So the next thing is, what is personality? Personality is enduring characteristics that influence behavior at work, and we already discussed about it. Perception is about how individuals interpret and understand their environment. So when three or four people are living in the same environment, everybody perceives it differently, and then they make a behavior or make some attitude. Attitude in the job satisfaction is imply feeling towards job and organization and colleagues. If someone is motivated, then he feels better towards the employees. Someone is happy, he feels better. So attitude matters a lot in the individual behavior. And motivation is the forces that drive individuals to perform. If a person needs more salary, so they work for the job. Someone needs recognition, someone is working with the people, they respect him. So these factors can be the motivation factors for a person. There are theories, different theories. For example, Maslow theory, Herzberg theory, expectancy theory, McClelland theory. So Maslow's theory is about the needs. uh, so we basically, first of all, we need physiological needs, then we need social belonging needs, then we talk about self-esteem, then we talk about the self-actualization. So when companies address need of the people in the initial stages, they need to understand that the basic needs must be met. For example, they must have a home, belonging, and everything. But at the chief level, they give more compensation, they give more benefits, so that their social and belonging needs and self-esteem needs are also met. Some people say that employees are good, they like their behavior. Some people say they're not good, they do not like to work. So these theories guide us about the motivation. We will be discussing these theories in our upcoming lectures in detail. Then the group behavior is about how people interact and work in teams. And when we say the teamwork is basically the collaborative effort that people achieve. So in teamwork, there is most important concept, that is creation of synergy. Maybe your boss have different expertise, you have different expertise. One person can have good technical expertise, another person have good interpersonal skills. So these two, when combined, can create more value and result into teamwork. So in groups, we talk about communication. Most important thing is the process of exchanging information and its meaning, how people communicate with each other in the groups that we study in organizational behavior. And leadership is core concept in the organizational behavior in the groups, because it is the ability to influence others. And when we talk about the leadership styles, there are either autocratic, democratic, transformational, transactional leaders. So the oldest style of is the transactional classical leader, and then there is autocratic leader where there are experts, they know better things, so they have the authority. In democratic, people mostly ask the feedback of their colleagues, and they move democratically, they make the decisions democratically. In transformation leader, bosses basically, or what they do, they act as a role model. They first of all change themselves. For example, if they are telling you that behave in good way to the colleagues, tell them the organizational values, engage them more, treat them with respect. So he will start with himself, and this is best strategy that people need to understand. That is the transformational leadership. Transactional leadership is just giving the instruction. So the best leadership style for the 21st century, for Gen Z, for generation beta, for generation alpha, is the transformational strategy, and it has worked for a lot of companies. Because we are no more dealing with the labor where we need to follow the classical organizational theories that we studied, that we will be studying, for example, classical management, administrative theories, and we work division sort of rules. But we need to understand the human role. We need to understand the transformational value role. So power and politics is another subject of organizational behavior. So what happens is that power and politics is power is about someone's ability to get things done in an organization, and politics is about that how someone uses his power. That is basically politics. So power and politics is about ability to influence others in the decision making. So we have studied the power matrix in different lectures. This is 35th lecture. I will also add one lecture on the power matrix. So we basically make a matrix. Let me make it here. So for example, on this side, we will put the power, and on this side, let's say I'm writing the power. Okay. So I'm writing it with my cursor. So here I will put the interest. Okay, so like there is power interest matrix we need to manage. So for example, if a person who has a higher power and higher interest, then obviously we need to keep him happy in the conflict situation. So sometimes there are people who have a low power but the high interest they have, we need to just keep them engaged, we have to keep them informed. So there's a complete power interest matrix that we must learn to understand. Coming towards the conflict management, conflict management is handling the conflict constructively. So again, we can use the power interest matrix here, that if somebody is high power, high interest, keep him engaged, listen to him. If somebody has high power but low interest, you uh, also keep him informed. If some person have low interest and low power, then you just need to monitor him so that he is not engaging with other stakeholders. So this is the way you manage the conflict management. Power interest matrix is my favorite subject, so I can keep on talking about it for hours and hours, but our this lecture has a certain agenda, that is organizational behavior basics I'm giving you, so that you understand that what in the organizational behavior are handled. For example, when we talk about conflict management, it is often handled between the groups. It is the handling of the disagreements constructively. So organizational culture plays a key role. It is about values, beliefs, and norms. Organizational behavior, most important concept. Organizational change is vital. So we must understand to adopt internal and external changes in the organizations. Trust management is organizational behavior core concept, where people or the groups manage the work related stress for better performance. So in the organizations, You must define or make a strategy that how you can keep your employees happy, how you will conflict manage their conflicts, how you will manage their stress. So this is job of our organizational behavior. The people who do the organizational behavior are expected to handle these aspects of the organization. So what the students need to practically, when they implement the organizational behavior lectures in the age of AI, they must do the exam preparation, case study analysis, so they can use these cases, these understanding in their context. For the all professionals, they must focus on leadership effectiveness and team management. If you manage the team well, you can help in better organizational performance, organizational behavior, that will eventually lead into the better feedback. So in digital era, what is happening, there are few changes happening. One is the virtual teams. You have teams in different places. You have team with different backgrounds in different nations, they never meet physically. So you need to handle the organizational behavior, how digitally people are behaving to the people who used to be earlier in the offices. And secondly, AI supported decision making is also happening. How you keep engaged your employees happy when AI is kind of replacing their jobs, how you can find the jobs for different groups. So that is something that organizational behavior professionals must do. If organizational behavior managed well, it betters the leadership, it improves the performance, it improves the employee well-being. So our key takeaway is the people drive the organizational success, and this is core job of the organizational experts, that they manage the conflict, they handle the stress, they teach them to handle the stress. So it is something that you need to work on the people individual motivation factors. You need to see the group behaviors and make the group behaviors positive. So if you understood this lecture, I want you to answer me in the comment section of this YouTube video, that can technology replace human judgment? And second question is, how culture affect the performance? So that's all. I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you.